I want to explain to you how the Holocaust, what happened there, and what I'm going through in my life right now are connected. I'm going to take you step by step. The Holocaust never stopped. The genocide never stopped. It's been going on throughout. After the Holocaust, it was decided to put Israel right next to Palestine because of it, right? There was the rationale of it as if it's good for the Jewish people. But you consider what resulted since the Holocaust because Israel was put right next to Palestine. All of the Israelis who have died as a result of the wars between Israel and the Arab nations, Egypt and Palestine, everything involved, Iran to this day, all the conflict in that region because Israel was put right next to, in such a way, the nations were put together in such a way, the boundaries intentionally to create how many. So there's debate about how many. Let's just use the number normally used. 6 million Jews were killed by Hitler in the Holocaust. How many were killed since then until now in that region because of all the wars, all the terrorism? So that terrorism is blamed on the Arabs, right, and their conflict with them. So that makes people hate Arabs, which resulted in putting Israel, which was as a result of the Holocaust. Now, did Hitler plan that intentionally, or did the people there are many dynamics involved on the world stage that resulted in the Holocaust. It was, and the royalty in England were involved in it. The Roman Catholic Church was involved in it. I mean, I can go on and on and on, all the way to Hitler having one tiny testicle, which is why he was mutilated and he was cruelly treated as a since being child sexually abused, and then he did what he did to cover up the pain of what happened to him. So there's many ways to look at it. But then the decision to have that happen, the number of people involved, so that they would put Israel as a result of it, so that so much conflict would happen, so that all the people in the world who hate Muslims, all the Muslims who hate America and Israel, and that's the reason there's all the wars, and then, Jimmy Carter and the hostage crisis, and why they were held so, the hostages were held till they made them hold. We made them hold. Ronald Reagan wanted them held till the day he came into office. To get the credit, it also, the longer they hold them, the more Americans hate Iranians. But it benefited Reagan for them to keep them longer, so he wanted credit for it because he wanted to be in power. Now, and then it helped more people. It's to the benefit of those who profit from war and to take action that I'm telling you to make people hate each other so there's more war. 9/11 happened so people hate people of the Middle East, and then the wars that resulted so that people hate people of Middle East. So people hate people, Arabs, Muslims, people who look like me, because of all the terrorism that has happened, because Israel was put next to Palestine because of the Holocaust, because of the Twin Towers, 9/11. Do you understand? Why do all the cops who keep coming, because Justine Taylor was in my house, they were supporting her. And then the sale of that house was prevented so she could keep calling, and she was encouraged. All the stuff that happened that Anita has put in that report to get restraining order against me and against me going to our home and put mom away because of those 911 calls, got the 5150 holes because of the 911 calls and the capacity being removed and me being traumatized, being poked at the soul over and over again, 79 calls at one property and the countless daily 911 calls at the other one that were encouraged and supported, and the house was prevented from being sold. And mom was prevented from getting the in Vegas shot with all the excuses Anita came to prevent the solution, because she was all this time fabricating. Her only intention throughout was to fabricate the evidence for 5 years. Sam, her dad, started it even before Alice died. And his indication, he'd been in contact with Tony Bongiovanni before Alice died. We don't know because Anita keeps lying and not revealing, concealing, police department concealing the 911 calls in the name of the judge who dismissed the case against my mom for calling 911 7 years ago. You see, you got to see the whole picture. See, what I'm going through now is still continuation of the Holocaust and the genocide. What my extended family is doing to me, because mom is the way she is, because her older brother, when he was born, Turkish soldier shot that firstborn. Almais was my grandmother's firstborn, was shot in his mother's embrace, died, and they had Apo, they had Galupse, they had Vasenik. They keep one boy to replace the boy that was shot. They kept getting girls, and that's what they. Mom was killed Kakashla, which is worse than the N-word to us, because it means shit over the shoulder. Kak means shit. Shalan because, and then when after her there was a boy born, her younger brother, they named him Almais after the firstborn. Then finally they felt good, but my mom was traumatized because they were calling Kakashlan before Almais was born. After, she was called Zarashlan, because after her came boy, which is gold, but to them in that culture, girl was shit. I'm sorry. So that's what they were calling my mom since she was born. That would affect, and you would understand, and the difficulty they had adjusting after the Holocaust. They immigrated from Armenia, the diaspora, and they went to Abadan, which is where I was born, south of Iran, next to the Persian Gulf. My dad was working at the oil refinery there. So do you see what's going on now? It started at some point I mean, it goes back further, but if you look at the correlation, the step by step from the Holocaust and the genocide, the people who did it, I mean, shooting my grandmother's baby they were killing a lot of babies, and they were doing that intentionally to have the result to this day what's happening. They wanted the sorrow to continue. When they decided to do the genocide, they wanted the sorrow to continue when they decided to do the Holocaust. And slavery, and the Native Americans, all of it. It don't stop. The people who do it, their intention from there was to keep on hurting. And you see the result, what I'm going through, what Mom is going through, why Anita is doing what she's doing, and Tony Bongiovanni, and Sam Totillo, and Mike Velarde, Justine Taylor, and Javier Primavera, and Richard Holloway, and Tanya Tequiva. And they had it over there. We've all descendants of Holocaust and genocide. And who hasn't had that in their ancestry? We've all had ancestral trauma, birth trauma, you name it, okay? Childhood sexual abuse, some more than others. We didn't start the fire. It was always burning since the world's been turning. Adam and Eve, Lot, what was that, the first two daughters, and then Abraham and Isaac, Ishmael, Sarah, Hagar. The whole, from the Bible, everything in the Bible, everything. It's always been going on. People provoking for the reason they provoke, because they hate, and then hate can't overcome hate, only love can do that.